So, welcome to new episodes of Growth Secrets with Mastermind Implementation with AI Hacks with Nipun Syal. So, today we have with us, hi Johann. So, we
Hey,
have with us
buddy.
Johann Nogueira, co founder of White Label Suites. Hi Johann, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I have seen it's a lots of books at your back. It's a virtual background created by AI or it's a real one?
No, that's not books. That's board games. So I'm a board game geek. In my spare time, I build board games.
Oh, wow. So, what exactly there is a connection between board games and the software you have made, man?
Ah, dude. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
We'll get into that. So
yeah,
about 3 years ago,
yeah,
so my wife said to me, "Hey, if you could do anything in the world, what would you do?" And I said,
yeah,
I'll build board games. Now, the reason for this is my son was with me and he said, Hey, dad, here's my friend, and his dad built this house, and his dad built this
yeah,
building, and this other dad, they own this office building. Where's your stuff? I just see you on the computer. And all of my stuff for the last 20 years is websites, apps, technology. It's all digital, but it gets obsolete. There's no real, you
yeah,
can't show anything for what we've done. Does that make sense? Like funnels,
right,
you change funnels every couple of years, you change your technology.
right,
So all the stuff that we've been building is gone. It's in lost to time. Whereas these things, board games, they will be there forever. I want my son's kids to be playing this going, Grandpa built these things, you know? So the
yeah,
story of how the board games came about. So my wife asked me, what would I do? I said that this is what I do. And we looked into building a board game. And back then it was $100,000 to get a board game built. And it would be only
oh,
6 months until I could see what it would be. Now I'm a bit of a control freak. And so I need to
yeah,
see stuff daily to see things are moving. We work in an agile system, you know what I mean? And so I said, I can't just throw $100,000 and then wait to see the results in 6 months. So that's what happened. And then AI came about. And with the
right.
advent of AI technology, we can now build a board game in a couple of weeks and take an idea, get all the graphics down, get all the mechanics, get it all balanced, and then yeah, publish it and launch it. So that's where it came.
Wow. And how old is your kid?
My kid is 8 years old. So he's 8, my daughter's
Okay.
6.
Okay, and like lots of time I have listened lots of excuses from business owner that they are not able to give time to their family, and sometimes what happens is like for the kids, and you made something that is quite interesting for your kids. Wow, yeah. Great
Well,
job, man.
100%. Thanks, man. But both my kids are very much into business. The other day we were
Yeah.
walking around the shopping center, and
Mm,
every Sunday we have Sunday as an Sonday. Sunday I get to spend with my son, and so my
mm,
wife and my daughter, they go shopping, and me and my son, we go for a walk, and we go for a
mm,
walk, and we go to a juice bar, and we get juice every day, every Sunday.
mm.
It's
Right.
our routine, and so we get a juice, and my son's sitting there, and he's doing this. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm counting.
Yeah,
I go, what are you
yeah,
counting? He goes, you give me $7 a week in pocket money. I go, yes. He goes, but you paid $10 for my juice. I go, yes. He goes, a
mm,
hundred other people paid $10 for the juice. I go, yes. He
mm,
goes, that shop made $1,000 in 5 minutes. I go, yes. He goes, how do
mm.
I make $1,000 in 5 minutes? I said, that's the question. So that was my proud dad moment.
Yeah.
And he's 8. My daughter, she's 6, and she's always taking stuff to school, trading with her friends, coming back and saying, "Hey, look, I traded one thing, I got 4 things." And yeah, so business runs in the blood.
Yeah, so that's so how you started everything. So you belong to a business family or you started everything from the scratch? I just want to know.
Yeah, no, definitely not a business family, a very employee mindset family. My parents, when I
Yeah.
started my business, were very, very upset because I I did my PhD 1 month before handing in my PhD. I quit. This is after 8 years of study, right? And
Oh,
so my parents were devastated because you can imagine Indian parents. No, we wanted you to be a
yeah.
doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, well, I said, look at my business. My business is making more money than a doctor will ever be paid. You know what I mean? And so parents were very disappointed when I went into business. but I knew what I wanted, and I was focused on that. And yeah, the first one to go into business and break out of the employee mindset, and now they're very happy.
And how the shift happened, like, so because when starting lots of time, what happened is right now AI is in the very much trend, you have lots of resources, but back then when you have started, you taken courage that I will do this, there is lack of resources. So how
Oh,
that was a
wonderful.
shift, and what are the struggles you face at that time, apart from the
Yeah, for
family
sure.
pressure? We all know that there is lots of family pressure involved in this.
Yeah, man, for sure. So I was doing the PhD out in the middle of nowhere. It's 4 hours from the main city. So at nighttime, I had nothing to do. So I'd work during the day, and then at nighttime there was nothing, no friends around, nothing. So I'd be on the internet. We're talking 2004. So I went onto eBay. I went onto Google and typed in "make money online," and I found this little eBay thread on how to make money on eBay. And so I started buying and selling and putting stuff on eBay. And that's how my first business was that. And so that then built up. And then from there, a couple of years later, like the eBay businesses, they run themselves because once you have the supplies in yeah. And by the way, this can be replicated now. I know it's 20 years later, but you can do this
Yeah.
with Amazon FBA, so fulfillment by Amazon. All you need to do is get a relationship with the supplier, put it on Amazon or put it on eBay. People buy it, and then it gets shipped directly to from the fulfillment warehouse to them. So once you set up these systems, so this is the power. Once you learn the power of leverage and systems, I was leveraging their platform and I was using their systems, and I had a system to make sure that it was scalable. So it didn't matter whether I got 5 orders, 10 orders, 200 orders, it was all taken care of. So that's the e-commerce part of it. And then after that, I got into affiliate marketing. So the store that I used to buy on it, I used to buy from this website and sell it on eBay. I used to buy it at 90% off and sell it on eBay at 50% off. We were selling diamond rings, right? So a
Wow.
$10,000 diamond ring,
Mm.
90% off was $1,000. And when I started off, by the way, I started off with $1,000. So, I bought 10 rings, $100 each. So I had $1,000 in inventory, and then I turned $1,000 into, I think it was $5,000, and it just scaled up from there. And I ended up having a bag with about $200,000 worth of diamonds and gold in it. Everybody thought I was a drug dealer, right?
Oh.
Because I was just too. And so from there, got into affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is where you sell other people's stuff. Well,
Right.
actually, affiliate marketing, you're directing traffic. So I was directing traffic to that other website. That website still exists. So if anybody wants to go check it out, go for it. It's called bidz.com. It's America's wholesale. You can go and buy 90% off jewelry. So it's pretty crazy. 90% off all the jewelry, and you can sell it on eBay for 50% off, and you make a nice 40% margin. So this website bids, they ended up having a affiliate program for 15%. So now any traffic that I sent to them, I would make 15%. Facebook just came out. This is 2007. I know I'm going back in time, like this is
Yeah.
2007. 2007, Facebook is the same as TikTok is right now. Traffic was
Right.
so cheap. So I could go on there and I would be driving traffic saying, hey, here's a diamond ring. The ad said, are you in a relationship? Diamond rings 90% off, click here to buy. And it was targeting males who were in a relationship for 3 years. That was the whole ad was that. They'd click, they'd go to the website, and then they didn't buy the engagement ring. They'd go and buy sunglasses and belts and suits and all this other stuff. I didn't care. I was making 15%. So that's how that happened. And then after that, CPA happened, cost per acquisition. So
Yeah.
bigger, better companies came about with CPA. So what is that? CPA is a network where companies like banks can put up their product offering, like a credit card, saying, "Hey, if you advertise this credit card, we will pay you." They used to tell the CPA network it was $300, and the CPA network would pay me $200 per application. So I
Wow.
used to go on Google and buy the keyword Commonwealth Bank credit card application, for example. And so that keyword would cost me $6. If 10 people clicked on it and only one person filled it out, I just got charged $60. But that one person who filled it out, I got paid $200. I made $140 on average per 10 clicks.
Right.
Now there were 1,800 searches just for
Yeah.
that one string of keywords. But then you do all the different keywords. There's about 1,000 different searches every month for that type of keyword. So you can imagine this is, again, a system that you set and forget. Once you set it up, you don't have to worry about it. You
So
monitor it and optimize it.
what is the highest
Yeah.
amount of money you generated in a single day?
I don't want to reveal that, but
Okay, what is the highest amount of money you spend on ads in a single day?
probably more than $100,000.
Yeah. So as a user, like lots of listeners are listening, you they want to start drop shipping or they want to start affiliate marketing. How they can choose a product that gonna be a good selling product? Because sometimes they just jump with the inventories, just like the rings, and if they are not able to sell it, then still they get broke. So how you
Yeah, yeah,
will?
yeah. So you should always make sure that there is a demand before you supply. So that's the secret. So make sure that there's demand. Look at. So right now, I told you about the board games.
Yeah.
One of the hardest lessons I learned was, hey, when you build a board game and try and launch it from scratch, you have to build hype. You have to build up, the want, the desire, because you have to prove to people, hey, there's more than 300 board games surrounding me right now. Why is my board game that I've just built better than any of these other ones? So you got to build that up. So the secret was find existing audiences, people who are hungry, and then supply them with it. Therefore, you don't have to create desire. There's already desire there. So that's the answer is that don't buy inventory and hope to sell it. Make sure that there is a one. Go and do research. Research is the biggest thing. On eBay, you can go and see all the sold items. So you can click a button which says, show me all the sold items. If you can see there's 100, 200, 500, 1,000 units selling every day, there is desire there. So then go and sell that. Same thing with all the e-commerce. If it's go and look how many stores are selling, what price they're selling it for. There's a lot of people who go on to AliExpress, for example,
Right.
and they buy something cheap and then they try and put it on eBay, but they didn't do proper research. They didn't see how many units are being sold. Yeah, all that kind of research.
So in that case, like either they should go for a quality product or the cheaper product. So quality versus cheapest is always a difference. Like they want to be a cheaper on eBay or they want a
Mm,
quality product.
okay, so that also is it's yes, the answer is yes to both of those, but it's always about supply and demand. There's always going to be people who want to buy the top end, and there's always going to be people who want to buy the bottom end. So I had a leather jacket company. So my friend, not my friend, my cousin, he got married to a girl. She's from Chennai, and when she came over here, she was wearing this beautiful jacket, and I went, "Wow, that jacket is
Mm.
amazing!" And the leather, the quality is amazing. We all know in India, the quality of the leather is just top notch, right?
Yeah.
So I go, "How much did this jacket cost?" And she goes, "Oh, it's from my local town." I was like, "Okay, well, how much is it?" And then she tells me how much it is, and I go, "I need to show you something." So I take her to the store over here in our shopping center. The same jacket, actually, her jacket was better quality than what's in the store. And the store, the minimum price was $800.
Oh,
She gets it for $60, right?
okay.
And yeah, like top notch, top quality. So what we did, I said, okay, I need 10 different styles. I need 10 different jackets. Here's some money. Can you go get it for me? And bring it back. So she gets it ordered. She gets it shipped over here to Australia. And now we've got these beautiful jackets that are amazing quality, better than what's in the shop. We're getting it at 10% of the price. And the price in the shop is more than 100 times, right? More than 10 times, sorry. So we put up a website, and on the website, we're selling these jackets for $3,000. Okay,
Right.
premium product. We then put it on eBay and say it's the only seller that has the ability to resell these products, has a resale license of clearance, and on eBay we were selling it at $600. And people would go, they'd research the brand, they'd go to the website, they'd look at it. It's $3,000 on eBay. They're getting it for $600, and they were buying it all day long.
Wow, what a growth hack. And that's remind me of one of the case right now, which is done by Payless. They just fooled people with a prank. They
Yes,
just
the shoes,
created a sure. Yeah.
the shoes. Yeah, the $20 shoes they were selling for 200 or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
$600, and it was like pay, they name it like Paylessy, and people are
Yeah.
going and people are crazy about those stuff, and they keep on buying. That's how you present your product. I think that's the brand value they are creating.
Yep.
Yeah. And after like lots of like, and when I talk to marketers, iOS 14, like even when iOS 14 comes into picture, everything just get upside down. So what was your experience at that time?
Can you repeat that? It cut out for one
Yeah,
second. Say that
iOS
again, please.
14. So that is when iOS 14 comes into
Ah,
picture,
yes,
where
yes, yes.
it, yeah. So what was
That
your
dude, that's
experience? Yeah.
um. Yes, everybody went crazy. The cost of acquiring a customer went nuts. But for us, it didn't have an impact. The reason is we have our own software to generate leads, and so we don't rely on third-party tools to do that. We do run Facebook
Yeah.
ads. We do run YouTube ads. And I think
Mm.
we also run Instagram ads, but we don't need to. We do that because we use it as a retargeting method. So if anybody comes to our website, they're getting followed up, and they see us everywhere. It's that strategy, but it's not the strategy to get them there for the first time. So the reason for that is because our technology allows us to target exactly who we want to target. And so now, rather than telling Facebook, hey, go and find me lookalike audiences or find me whoever this is, our first thing we do is say, this is who we want to target. And we ask them to come to our website. Once they come to our website, they're cookied, and now we can follow them around.
Right.
Then we also build the lookalike audiences from there.
Okay. And how the vault thing happened? We were like a best buddies and like the best business partners. Lots of like people got inspired from you. So how this thing get happened? I just want to know
Yeah, man.
this. Yeah.
So Walt is my business partner, for those of you who
Yeah.
don't know. And Walt is a genius. He's a software developer, right? And he's been a software developer for 13, maybe I think it's 16 years now. It was 13 years when I met him. So he's just brilliant at what he built. And so he interviewed me on his podcast on how to run a digital agency, because I have a digital agency as well. And that was 6 years ago. And then every 3 months, he'd call up and check in and say, hey, do you want to be business partners? Hey, do you want to be business partners? Hey, do you want to be business partners? And I'd be, no, I'm too busy, too busy, too busy. And then one day it just so happened I was in his city. So he lives 2.5 hours away from me. And my family wakes up at 8 o'clock. And then I'm up at 5 in the morning. So I messaged him and said, hey, I'm up for breakfast. If you want to have breakfast, I can meet you at 6 o'clock. And he said, yeah, sure, let's do that. And so we meet at 6 o'clock. We have breakfast. We have one of the best breakfasts. Like, this guy's full of energy. He's amazing. I've never met someone who's so enthusiastic about everything, right? And he'd built all this amazing software. And I said, hey, did you know that your offer is kind of needs a tweak, and tweak it this way? So he tweaked the offer. And I said, all right, see you later. And then 2 weeks later, he calls me up and he's like, dude, do you know how much money I made because I tweaked the offer the way you said? Can we be business partners? I was like, no, I've got too much to do. And then, but at this time, he'd showed me this software, the lead generation software, and I couldn't believe it. Because if I had this software, you there?
There might be a network glitch at my end. Let me see. Uh, just a
You've
second.
you've disappeared. Your lights went off, by the way.
Yeah, let me check what there is some kind of power failure.
Okay.
Let me see if you are able to see me now.
Yep.
Yeah, let me move it to the side. And I think you are on also still. I'm not sure. My voice is audible or not?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But I think you are not moving. Can you just stop your camera and start it again?
Yeah, sure. How about now?
Can you move? No, I think the orientation. Are you able to see the orientation on your screen, like you are moving or not?
Yeah, I can see me moving. I can see
There's
me
my.
moving. I can see you moving.
Okay, because in my screen, your thing is freezed up. Yeah, here I will see. Okay, let me see. Mm, yeah, okay, now it's perfect. So we'll start. I will start it from the vault and we'll do the
Oh,
edit again.
yeah, yeah, no problem. Cool.
So
So
have
you
yeah,
asked me. You go.
yeah, yeah. So how did that vault thing happen? So you are like the best buddies, best business partners. We have seen you lots of other stuff. So I just want to
Yeah,
know,
man.
please show some light on this.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So for those of you who don't know, Walt is my business partner. So Walt, I met him 6 years ago. He interviewed me on his podcast, and we had a great um, podcast interview. And I said, "Wow, Walt, like he can really interview someone." I said, "Man, that was the best podcast experience ever." And we became really good friends. Every 3 months, he'd chase me up and say, "Hey, can we be business? Can we do some business together?" I said, "No, no, 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 too busy." And then it just so happened, did all your stuff cut out again?
Oh wow. And
All
those
your
who
all
don't
your
know,
all your lights have changed again.
yes, that is because there was a power failure and it now moved back. So sorry for that.
That's all good, dude. Fix it, and then we'll record the Walt section again.
Yeah, let me move my net back. There will be one glitch for a second. I just change
Yeah,
it to
that's
the different Wi-Fi and then we'll do that. And my apologies for the same. I don't know why. It's
these
like
things happen.
5 in the morning. And every time when I do a podcast, even in the in person also, sometimes it happened like there's some unexpected thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just a second. Let me switch to. And when I will talk about vaulting, and then I will share the high level summit also that you did a biggest event. So I will share it on the screen
perfect.
also. And see if I am in the frame. I think you are on still. Yeah. No. Okay. Now
All
it's
good.
perfect. Yeah. All good. And still, I don't know why your frame is. But just 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
I have different Wi-Fi, so I just want to connect the fastest one, who is very. And now I think it's good. And let me see why you are not. Can you turn off and turn it on? Because in my screen again, still it's showing freeze, and on the right hand side view, it's showing good.
Better.
Yeah, better, but why? Just let me change some stuff. This is Now it's perfect. Yeah, now it's perfect. So let me stop the screen from this side. Okay, done. So we'll continue it from here, right?
Yep,
And yeah. So we are taking one more take. So sorry for that. So let
it's all
me. And I have seen you lots of time with Vault and how the Vault things get happen.
yeah, for sure. So Walt interviewed me on his podcast 6 years ago. For those of you who don't know, Walt is my business partner. He's an absolute genius. He's a software developer. And when I met him 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, it was actually it was April 2021, so 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I finally got to meet him in real life. We were friends. Hey, you disappeared again.
No, no, I'm over here.
You're
Okay,
back.
last. Okay, so how
Right.
the Vault thing happened? I just want to know. Like, lots of time I have seen you with the Vault, and you're doing lots of summits and great work with Light Label
Thanks, man.
Suites. So how it's happened?
Yeah, for sure. So Walt and I met 6 years ago. He interviewed me on his podcast. It was one of the best podcasts I'd ever been on. I was very excited. And so we built a relationship from there. And so we kept in touch. And every 3 months, he'd chase me up and say, "Hey, do you want to be in business? Do you want to be in business? Do you want to be in business?" I said, "No, I'm too busy. And I never commit to anything that I can't give 100% of my time to." So from that, 3 years ago, we caught up in person because I flew up to where he is. He lives in the most beautiful part in Australia, and we were on vacation. And so I messaged him at night. I said, "Hey, I'll be available for breakfast if you want to have breakfast." So he comes down. We catch up for breakfast, and that was the inception. That's the start of how we built this company. We had a beautiful breakfast, but in that breakfast, I understood the type of man he is, his values, the honor that he carries, the way his work ethic is. So that is somebody who is just priceless.
Mm,
You meet a lot of people in the world, you hardly get to
mm,
meet people like this. So the bond between us was very strong. I said, "Hey, you need to tweak your offer, in this way." And so he did, and he came back 2 weeks later. He's like, "Man, this is amazing. Do you want to do this with me?" And I said, "You know what? All right,
mm,
I'll let's do it. We'll do it, and I'll work with you for 6 months, no paperwork or anything, and I'll show you
mm,
how I work." And so that was 3 years ago, and here we are now, and we have a very, very successful company that's growing. And
mm,
dude, I've never met somebody who can match my energy and passion
mm.
and work ethic until I met Walt. So very, very
Yeah.
excited to be in partnership with him.
I think a digital marketer and a software developer is a very deadly combination.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Because the software developer makes sure they've got the process brain of making sure everything is fixed and working. And the digital marketer can get into all these different types of markets and think outside the box and get people there. And that's what we did last week. We ran this amazing summit, which has
Yeah.
now brought in amazing leads for us. And you've got it there on the screen. You can
Yeah.
talk through it. Tell us, what was your experience
Yeah.
coming to the
It
summit?
it was a very amazing experience. I got lots of connection, lots of insights also. But because when you read books and other stuff, I keep on reading and taking goes. After some time, it's just getting day by day because there's lots of recent technologies in AI. So everything get obsolete very quickly as compared to 10 years back. But now we are getting mentored by the latest like things what are coming up in the market and everything was live. So if you see, there's lots of big mentors over there. And so I just want to know that how you will get connected to these much people to come under one umbrella, because it's very difficult for everyone to come under umbrella, and how you market that product so you get amazing people over there like me from a different country, and lots of people are from different countries are joining over there. And I have seen in the chat section lots of people are getting lots of insights. So see, day
Yeah.
one, day two, day three, because right now what happened is after the webinars they come into picture, the people will take around 45 to 50 minutes webinar, and people just start dropping out. How you
Yep.
stick people to 3 days for a full day? So that's what I am
Yeah.
doing, and even on the working day.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the people only found out about it 2 or 3 days before. So for them to cancel their schedule, we had people signing up and saying, "Hey, I'm just going to go and watch this one section." I said, "Sure." But what happened was they replied back saying, "Oh my God, all the speakers are so great. I canceled all my meetings and I've been there for 3 days straight." So there was, people who had meetings who canceled their meetings to just be there and be on the summit because of value that the people were adding. So the brief that I gave to all the speakers was, you have to add value. You have to show strategies and tactics that are working right now to grow your company. It has to be all real. There's no theory here. It's all real stuff. And so by showing people the real stuff, they can see it. Now, when you get people of this caliber into a room, they're all very established people. They know what they're talking about. They live it. They've done it, and they do it every day. And they are, as you said, pretty significant people. They've achieved a lot. And so I went after only the best people because I wanted this first summit to be absolutely amazing and set a new bar for what summit should be. And so we did that. And the summit was an absolute success. The kudos, the relationships that were built from there, you got connections. I also got connections, which
Yeah.
is awesome. And so there's tons of noise now in the community. We've got a brand new, amazing database from all over the world. People from India, people from, you name the country, we had people there. We had 1,500 people registered in the last 3 days. So it was pretty epic. And those people are now in our community. We have a community on Facebook. We have a community off into our own little community space, and they're all active. They're now doing deals with each other. They're showcasing what they learned. They're putting it into their businesses. They're now sharing the strategies that are working for them. So now everybody's growing. There's lots of joint ventures happening. So this thing now, I would say a week later, it's literally a week later. We finished exactly this time 1 week ago. It has been a massive success, and I can't wait for the next one, which will be in October. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're going
So
to be
I'm
doing this
looking
every three
forward.
months.
And even like today I have attended one event of David, which was you showcase over there. So
Yep.
everybody's was the one, like it was like we are refreshing the 1 week before memories, every name we know. Okay, so we are connected. Even David is naming our names. Okay, we met last week, and it's like a good connection. Well,
Yep.
so I want to know the secret how, like, if lots of people wants to do webinars. So webinars for us are like, I think maybe going get one because everybody can recognize it's evergreen webinar because
Yep.
one with the smart marketer can know then see check the moves. And what Anik told us is that you can't be pretend that it's live until it's
That's right.
live. So
That's right.
how you fill up all those seats, because when you tie up with these speakers, so they have some expectation there should be some audience in front of them to get them
Oh, well,
energetic. So how
yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah,
that?
for sure. So we asked people to promote it, to be,
Yeah.
and we also have a good affiliate program. So anybody who promoted it, they make
Yeah.
50% of the ticket price. And
Yeah.
so people have audiences, have excited people where they could then promote it to. The audience comes in, they're getting a very, very cheap deal because these people, they charge thousands of dollars per hour. And so
Yeah.
that was the unique selling proposition. Here you have 24 amazing speakers who are going to be live, who are
Mm.
showcasing all of their real strategies, and you only pay a very small amount in order to access it. And the proof is in the pudding. Again, it's value. So the entire summit was based on value. Come watch and see the value that can be created, and from that you become a lifelong customer because now you get to know. People hide behind Facebook posts, they hide behind AI created
Yeah.
posts now and all this kind of stuff. You can make up a fake persona about who you are. So when you're in
Right.
front of the camera and when you're talking, people can see into your heart, into your brain, into your soul. They understand the type of person you are, and they connect on a different level. So you cannot BS anybody when
Yeah.
you're live. You know what I mean?
And even the people who are coming as a guest on your event is like they have lots of expectations, and you need to see like take care of everyone. So like, okay, so it's the right time to join. And it was a very seamless, like nobody's getting delayed, everybody, because for getting in offline event we know that the speaker is at the event, because I used to do like I'm doing lots of offline events, so we know we are under one umbrella, so we are willing at the coffee nearby us, and when our turn comes and we over there. But in online there's lots of glitches, but everything goes smooth every time, and everybody's covering up in the time which you have given, and lots of
Yes.
insight to the user. Also you are taking the feedback of the people, like let's I joined that, and I got like I ask any silly question, you are the one and Walt are the one who are answering that, because many times people ignore that silly questions also. Oh, what kind of question? And basic to the advanced level one, when you ask
Yep.
something very advanced and you are the one, okay, so if you don't want to do so, and you will just take it and you will just give an example. Here is the example, you can read it out, and the rest everything is at our ball. Like, I want to see and I want to explore more. That's how people start getting value. And you have an amazing product also. Can you elaborate and can you share your skin? I just want to show it to our viewers, like what
Yeah, man.
exactly white label suits you.
Yeah, for sure. So, just before I do that, in answer to your
Yeah.
question, it wasn't just Walt and I, there was a whole team behind us, making sure that the speakers were on time, making sure everybody was coming, everybody was there ready to present,
Yeah.
making sure that there was no glitches with the technology, all that kind of stuff. There was one speaker who we called up. We said, hey, 3 minutes before they were meant to speak, we
Yeah.
said, dude, you're meant to be speaking in 3 minutes. Where are you? You're meant to show up
Yeah.
15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I'm getting dressed because I'm going to a funeral." I
Oh.
said, I said, "Oh man, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry." Like
Yeah.
he goes, "I thought my session was tomorrow." I was like,
Yeah.
"No, it's today."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, I'll be there." I go, "No, no, it's okay. We'll cover you." He goes, "No, I made a commitment. I'm going to show up." He showed up. He didn't have a presentation, and he just did
Yeah.
a walkthrough and he just spoke. And from him
Yeah.
speaking, he made the most amount of sales. He was so happy. And it's because he's a genuine person, right? People, they saw exactly what they were getting. There was
Mhm.
no blah, blah, blah. If you buy this bonus, it's
Yeah.
$10,000. You're getting it for $100. All that kind of, there was none of that. It was just, hey, this is my product. This is what I do. And if
Mhm.
you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, that's cool. It,
Yeah.
as simple as that. So being real makes a massive difference. All right. So you asked me about my software. So let me show you. Uh, tell me if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can see my screen.
No, I didn't see your skin right now. Can you share it again?
Okay. All right. Let's go back. How about now?
Now it's visible.
Okay, perfect. So this is our software. Our software is called White Label Suite. It's called White Label Suite because our clients are all digital agencies and they white label the software and they sell it to their clients as a subscription or as a service. So a subscription, they then brand it under their name and they can sell the credits for whatever they want. So we've got clients selling credits for $10 a month, $10 per credit per month, for example. We sell them the credits for 12 cents. They're selling it for $10. So there's a massive margin, lots of profit in that. Now, what is a credit? Why do I need credits? You need credits to activate these different types of searches. So before, uh, I've stopped sharing screen. Tell me if you can
Yeah.
see me. Okay.
Yes, I can see you. Yeah.
I'll give you an example so that you have context. And then once you have context, then we can go in and play with the tool.
Right.
So on the 21st of December, this guy calls me up and he says, Johann, you're you've changed my life. I want to send you a bottle of champagne. I said,
Yeah.
okay, great. Thank you. But who are you?
Yeah.
Because I signed up for your software 3 months ago. 3 months ago, my business was crashing. My wife was telling me to go drive an Uber. I couldn't afford to pay school fees for my kid. But for the last 2 months, it was the last 2 months, on average, I made $80,000.
Oh.
I said, dude, forget about the bottle of champagne. Send me that on video, right?
Yeah.
I want that on video. I go, but how did you do it? What did you do? So he said he went into the tool, which I'll show you in a second. He went into the tool and he looked for in every city. The city's all built so that there's a poor area and a rich area. Every city in the world has a poor area and a rich area. He went and he found in the rich area all the CEOs of different companies who invest in property, right? CEOs of different companies who invest in property. Very simple. Then now he's got a list of 1,000 CEOs who invest in property. He sets himself up as a person who buys real estate for high net worth individuals. So if you go and look up his website, he's what we call over here in Australia a buyer's agent for high net worth individuals. So if you go and look, he buys property for rich people. That's what he does,
Okay.
right? By the way, he doesn't. That's not what he used to do. This is just a
Yeah.
pro. He set it up, right? So now he has a list of 1,000 CEOs who invest in property. He sends them an email. Oh, before he sends them the email. So I'm talking you through the process because there's people take notes, and you could
Yeah.
literally replicate this in your business, in your country. By the way, nothing I say is it might not work for you. So I'm not making you any promises, but
Yeah.
this is what happened, right? So he found all the CEOs. At the same time, he found all the real estate agents in that area who cater to that city. And he says, hey, I buy real estate for high net worth individuals. Can I send you leads? Do you want any more high net worth
Mm.
individuals to buy property? What does the real estate agent say? Yes, please.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
amazing. Please send me leads.
Yeah.
He goes, here's how I work. I will send you the opportunity to buy a lead. The lead's only available until another real estate agent buys. So he's creating scarcity,
Yeah.
not false scarcity, because
FOMO.
there's only one lead,
Yeah.
at a time. He sells them the lead for $2,000. Now in Australia, the houses, this area, the houses are between 2 million to $40 million. The commission that the real estate agent makes on that is $50,000 minimum. Okay. So are they happy to give him $2,000 to get a lead, which is going to probably convert into $50,000? The answer is yes. Now I know I'm talking big numbers, but that's just
Mm.
because that's the example that we use. You can use Nipun, you can change it into whatever examples that
Right.
you want. We can do that, but this is the real example. So he's done that, right? And so now this is how the process works. He goes, he finds the CEOs. There's 1,000 CEOs who invest in property. He sends them an email. The email says, hey, Mr. CEO, hey, Nipun, I know that you're the CEO of this company and you also invest in real estate. I've got 3 amazing deals with the high ROI, return on investment. Are you open to checking out this deal? Nipun says, in 2 minutes, I can tell if it's a good deal because it's all about numbers, right? Properties.
Right.
So you go, yes. So out of the 1,000 people, 400 said, yes, send me the deal. As soon as they reply and say yes, the email automation kicks in and says, hey, Nipun, 100%, I can get that to you right now. Just answer me these 3 questions. Question number 1, I'm ready to buy now, ready to buy in
Mm.
3 months, ready to buy in 6 months. That's a radio button. They just click, click, click,
Right.
multiple. Question number 2, I have 0 to 500, 500 to a million, million plus ready to deploy. Question number 3, I'm looking for a seaside, countryside, or city side. Click, click, whichever one. It takes them 5 seconds to fill it out. As soon as they fill it out, the email marketing automation sends it to the real estate
Mm.
database. We've got a brand new lead. His name's Nipun. He's got $1
Mm.
million ready to spend, and he's looking for a seaside property. You want to buy this lead for $2,000. And if
Yeah.
he convert, I'll send you another lead until it does convert,
Yeah.
right? That's his irresistible offer. So it goes out to the real estate agents, and out of the 440 of them bought at $2,000. That's
Wow.
$80 a month. So I told my wife, I go, man, this guy found the best hack ever. And
Right.
if, touch wood, nothing happens, but if something ever happened to my company, this is all I would do.
Yeah.
Easiest, simplest system to ever build. So now you have that context, and now I can show you what the software looks like. Let's go. So we go in here, share screen, and this is we've got 3 ways of searching, and there's 2 more other ways coming. People search, company search, domain search, and then influencer search is coming up, and group search is coming too. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, perfect. So we're going to go into the people search. We're going to go here, and we're going to search for here we go, CEO, CEO property investor. And what location? I'll just pick Los Angeles. By the way, this works anywhere in the world. So uh,
Oh.
anywhere in the world where there is Google, and it works in any language. So I could do this in India. I could type in Hindi if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to find CEO, property investor, Los Angeles, and results 20. So I get to choose how many results I want. Now what's happening is it's going and it's finding me all the property investors, and it gives me their details. So this is cool, and I go, all right, cool. I
And
get
it's showing LinkedIn IDs also.
It's showing me their
Wow.
LinkedIn ID, but again, this
Yeah.
is just basic. So I'm gonna go in
Mm.
here, and I want to make it smarter. So I'm gonna go PTY investors. I'm going to add them to that list. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go into my saved lists. And where's my PTY investors? Here. All right. So here you can see now it starts populating. Now I have all their emails. I have their Twitter, their social. I can put in their phone numbers. The ones I have, it automatically populates. I can go in here and I can enrich the data. You can see here, I can see her email. I can see all her skills. I can see where she worked. I can know so much about this one person, right? And I even have the birthday.
Oh,
Pretty cool, huh?
wow.
So now you can personalize the marketing to this person, and this automatically plugs into your CRM. I can also download this data and then upload to Facebook as a lookalike audience. And now it's going to create that sort of audience for me. So it's more targeted. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome.
And
Cool. All right. So go on.
so here I was asking, like, are you enriching data from here? Are these the verified leads or not? And how we are
Yes,
doing
yes.
that? Just now? Yeah.
Yeah, so all the
Yeah.
data is verified here, and
Yeah.
this is and it's enriched over here. So that's what this is. Now let's
Wow.
go into another search, and we'll go company search, and we're going to do the example of the real estate. Real estate in where should we find real estate people?
So we can
Let's
find
see.
in Australia, Melbourne,
Yeah,
Los
we can do that.
Angeles. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just stick to Los Angeles since we're already
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to add that to. I'll just create a new list and go Los Angeles real estate. Okay, save. And then, by the way, let's go continue. I'll show you something else in a second. Here, it's gone and it's found the name of the company, the rating, the website, the phone number, and the location. Again, nothing groundbreaking because I can get all this from Google, right? This is
Right.
going to Google at the start. But what's happening in the background is in the background, it's going and it's finding all the data and enriching the data. So let's go to our saved lists. Let's go to the Los Angeles REA. And now you can see it's coming in. It's telling me there's 59 employees in this company. They only have 9 Google ratings. They have Google Analytics. They have Facebook Pixel. Here's their socials. Here's their emails. I can click on the 10 emails and I can now see who they are. And I can also see, look at this over here. Who's this person? Lena Byrne is the vice president. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
Kyung Starlet, who's the vice president. So I can pick and choose who I'm going to mail.
And if they are the decision makers or not, so we can easily recognize
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
And so for the example that I gave, I don't need the decision makers, although I could, but I wanted
Yeah.
the listing agents, right? Because they're the ones who are going to buy the leads.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to go company at the top level, I can go to the vice president for sure. So that's one. Here's the other people. And as it goes and finds all the data, like it's searching live in real time, it'll then start populating. You can see now it's starting to bring in the Facebook, the Instagram, the LinkedIn. It's also showing me what it's built on. Their website's built on WordPress. So now I can say, hey, your website's built on WordPress. How about I move you over to JHL or
Yeah.
HubSpot or whatever, right? So now the more data I have, the better my sales pitch is going to be. So that's the second way to do things. And then the third way is going to a domain search. Now, domain search is once I know a company, I can go in here and I can say, okay, find me everyone who works at Forbes. Forbes, because I'm Nipun and I'm a famous podcaster and I want to get into Forbes. So you
Yeah.
go in here and then you go, okay, here's everybody who works at Forbes. And then I want to get into, the freelance journalist. I want to talk to Robert Hart, who's going to now get me into my first Forbes article, for example.
Yeah.
And if you know actually in India, let's just go back. Let me go back to new search. Go to new search, go here. I know one company. Excuse me, I've been out of India for more than 30 years now. So my
Yeah.
Times of India.com, is it? Or .in? What's
Dot
going on?
in. Dot in. But dot com is the one, because if they are old, they have dot com. Timesofindia.com will be there.
All right, cool. So I can go to timesofindia.in and then, well, that one doesn't bring up. Let me see, what's .com bring up? Is it Times of India? There you
Yeah.
go. And we got 2 people from there, and we can go and ask it to look for more. But if you know By the way, we only find public data. So if it's not available, we won't find it. There's no gray hat or no black hat. Make sense?
Okay, got it.
Awesome. Let's look for Amazon as well while we're here. And here's all the people who work for Amazon. And hey, here's the director of marketing. I think you should
Yeah.
get Kelly on your podcast, dude, and ask them how Amazon, how they grow all
Oh,
the time, right?
what
So
a
if
growth
you
hack.
exactly, so that's how the software works. And then once I have the software, once I have the list, I should say, I can go back into here, into the save list, and let's just go to these guys here. I can tick all of these guys, and you can see in the top right hand corner, I can send it to my CRM. Can you see that button?
Yes.
And then I can also export it to CSV. I can even
God.
label these. I can do an automated AI generation of the email. So it'll read their website. And with prompt engineering, you can tell it, go in and find me, who they love working with, craft a pitch, etc. And it'll do one unique pitch per company. So that's all the power of the AI that sits behind it. But I don't want to go too much into that. So how does that sound for the software? A
It
quick little
sounds
snapshot.
amazing because I'm love of like doing playing with the AI tools. But sometimes like when you enrich data, it takes lots of time. So how your software is so fast?
It just is.
Because
We've got good engineers.
yeah, because I work like for scraping, I do Apollo and other stuff also. But when I just put up like okay, particular place this, and then it starts just loading up, and when I narrow down lots of audience, and in that case, it doesn't give me a good results. So, but your software is like pretty much very good,
Thanks, man.
very
I
good job
appreciate
over
that.
yeah, yeah. And if people wants to purchase it, how they can purchase? I will put that into the link of this podcast also.
Yeah,
So
we'll
then
we'll get
go.
we'll give them a special link because anyone who comes from you, they're going to get a special deal. And hey,
Yeah,
we're all about growth hacks, right? Being on a podcast, guys. If you guys go in and sign up via Nipun, we're going to give you guys a special deal. So go check out that
yeah.
page.
Sure. So I'll be putting that link over here so you can take over decisions. And I think that's the best thing because lots of softwares, what they are doing is they are just giving us a lead from one way only. Just if it is from LinkedIn, if I'm using over Sales Navigator, I can just scrape about the LinkedIn stuff. But I never scrape which website they are using because here where the tech plays major role. Sometimes people are fed up their website they are using on WordPress. Now we have GHL and other platforms where we can put the entire funnels working over there. So that's pretty
Exactly.
good job, yeah.
Awesome, man.
And how you find inspiration to do all this stuff? So right now, like you have been with lots of people at your platform, but whom you want to like, who you inspire so much, like who gets inspired by someone?
Who do I get inspired by?
Yeah.
My kids,
Oh,
because my kids, they see the world as a different place,
yeah,
and anything is possible. So um, I was always called a bumblebee. You know what a bumblebee is, right? A
yeah,
bumblebee's body is too big for its wings, and it doesn't know that it shouldn't be able to fly, but it does. Now, I have a software company. I am, as I said at the start, an agricultural scientist. I've never written a
mm,
line of code in my life. I don't know, but I can
yeah,
think and I go, hey, what if this happened? And then geniuses like Walt come
mm,
into play and go, I can build that. Well, I
yeah,
can build that. I go, what if we created this? What if I could, at the touch of a button, get all the property investors in Melbourne? I can, I can make that happen.
yeah,
Wow. How much is the
mhm,
property investors in a city worth to anybody? Like those are the top of the top, right? The people who've become successful, who now buy
mm,
multiple properties, who run companies. By the way, there's filters in there. You can say, I want to target people who are doing $1 million, $2 million, $5 million a year, all that kind of stuff. And it'll narrow it down. And now you know exactly who you're talking to. So one of the things we don't do is we don't say, go and send this message out to 1,000, 10,000 people. All these other companies like Instantly, Apollo, all that,
yeah.
that's what they encourage you
The
to do.
form of it, yeah.
Go and
Lamb
spam
nest also,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, go and spam everybody. No, don't spam people. Go and find 100 people who you want to build a real relationship with. Spend 1 month building a real relationship with them, and from that, the deals just come and it compounds. So we are completely different in our methodology around how to approach and build relationships. Business is all about relationships. So you ask me who
Yes.
inspires me? My kids inspire me. My mentors, there's so many of them. If you ever want to go check it out, we might be able to put it up here. All my all my mentors on my Facebook banner. So I've put them up there
Mm,
and say, these are all the people who I've learned. The reason I did that is in case
mm.
I died, right? My
Oh,
son could go there and say, these are all the people that dad learned from. I'm going to learn from them so that I'll have a brain like dad, hopefully.
oh,
Because input,
wow.
that's the input, right? What we feed our soul, what we feed our brain with is the input into our brain, and then the output gets created from there. So be careful what you put into your brain. Be careful what you consume. And by putting in the good stuff, you've never lived in a time like this. You can now consume the content of anyone and then reach out and talk to them. So I read books. I've got so many books lying over here. I'll read a book and then I'll
Okay.
reach out to the author and I'll say, hey, I really love this, this, this. What do you think about blah, blah, blah? And then we'll build up a relationship. Now I've read somebody's knowledge for the last 10, 20, 30, 50 years. Now I've built a relationship with them and now they become a friend. So leverage this time, leverage this technology, and you can do anything.
Wow. And it's a very learning session for me. Thank you so much for joining our show. And I think like what people are doing mistake these days are they use the pre-made lemless templates and they bombard with everyone. So every third mail will be like RE, then there is semicolon and there will be like last call and other stuff. But what if we have some personalized message to close the high ticket lines? And that's a very learning session. And if people wants to connect with you apart from the tool, where they can connect with you, how they will approach you?
Facebook is the best way. So just type my name into Facebook. You'll find me there. You'll see my face and check that it's got the blue tick and
Yeah.
connect with me there.
Yeah.
Messenger is the best
I will put up that link of your Facebook below that podcast so that people can easily approach you and if they want to connect with you.
way. Awesome,
and,
man.
and thank you so much. It was very enlightening session for me. And you and Walt is doing an awesome job.
Thanks, man. Nipun,
Yeah.
you're great. You're amazing. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for doing what you do, because what you do, you don't know who's listening. And that one person who's listened to you that takes action, it'll change their life. It'll not only change their life, but it'll change their kids' life and their kids' life. So what you're doing,
Yeah.
that impact, being the messenger, has such a massive impact on people. So thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I just want to build last of one of my kind, kind of stuff. So that's a legacy. Like before, like after 100 years again, if this podcast is on somewhere YouTube, so next generation will see. Oh, so these guys were doing that at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it.
thank you so much.
Pleasure, bro.
Thank you.
Bye bye.